What's up, Buttercups? Hope you guys are having an amazingly golden day with cherries on top today. If this is your first time watching, my name is Elvis, that is Core, and you are watching the Golden Drive. And that is a 2007 Porsche 911 Turbo. And it is amazing, it is beautiful. And today we are gonna be checking it out. We're gonna be reviewing it, taking it for a drive, and I'm gonna let you guys know what I think about it.
All the 997s have kind of become collectible.
Yeah.
So the values have gone up.
Yeah.
Especially with the turbos and the GT3s. 120 to 130 US. So it's going to be like 160 to 175 Canadian.
So I'm here to answer the question today of,
Which is what they would have sold for brand new, right? Like
That's mind-blowing.
They were 170 to 190, depending on how you configured them.
Yeah.
Canadian, brand new.
That's insane.
So they've gone back up to brand new pricing.
Yeah, so we're gonna be checking out this thing and seeing if it's worth it, because you could buy a lot of cars for 100 and by the time you convert it to Canadian, it's like 160,
165, 170 Canadian. There's a lot of cars, yeah.
So,
but again,
there's a lot of cars you could get for that.
There's so much that you can't get this car anymore, right?
That is true.
They don't make a
manual
911 turbo in a manual. Plus, this is the last of the Metzger engines.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes. So I guess that makes it kind of collectible.
It is collectible, yeah.
So we're gonna be seeing if it's worth that price. That's more than I even thought. I've talked too much for this long intro, so we're gonna roll the intro and then we're gonna get back to the conversation about this car. So, Porsche 911 Turbo, or 997 Turbo. It has 450 horsepower. Just for context, the new Nissan Z has exactly 400 horsepower. This is almost like a comparable horsepower range because...
Why are you talking about a Nissan?
Because I can't.
What are you talking about a Nissan for?
It's actually more similar than you might think.
No, man.
This has a six...
Seriously, you're gonna have like every Porsche aficionado like just ripping you a new one.
Perfect.
Right now.
The reason why I'm saying is this has 450 horsepower. The Nissan Z has 400 horsepower.
Sure.
This is a 6-cylinder. The Nissan Z is also a 6-cylinder. I think this is all-wheel drive. There's also a twin turbo.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
the new Z. You see, this is more comparable than you would think to a Z. Cars just like, wow, oof. And the Z costs about 60 grand-ish.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
A fraction of the price.
I'm just a huge Nissan guy. That's why I've compared this to the Z.
Yeah, we know.
But it's very different. This is all-wheel drive. It's a Porsche. It's glorious.
Yeah. Once you get the rush of the turbos, though.
Yo! Yeah, the rush of the turbos. It's just... This is a departure from the 996's fried egg headlights.
Yep.
And I think this looks so good, like compared to the 996. Again, the 996 is growing on me, but I still prefer this. What are your thoughts about it?
No, I agree. I like the look of this car better. I think everyone will agree this is a better looking car.
It looks so much better.
But the 996 has great value. If you can't stand the headlights, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and usually I think the 996s is what people are cutting up more now, because if you guys check out what's it called, Trick Factory Customs, where I work, we actually just did a wide body 996 fried egg light one, and I love that car so much.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I got a 996, that's what I would do.
Right.
But this is again 997.1. Looking at the engine,
looking at it, you can't see anything.
You can't really see anything.
No.
Wow, it is like crammed in there. And so did these have any of the problems that the 996 and 997 had with the IMS?
No.
Probably not, yeah.
No, so that's part of the appeal of the 996 turbos, 997 turbos, 997.1 turbos, is they all ran the Metzger engine. Metzger engines were derived from basically the early 90s motorsport motor, like that. They ran all these in the GT3s, GT2s. All their cup cars ran the same block, right? The Metzger block. But yeah, bulletproof engine. Nothing to do with the 996 or 997
Yeah,
motor.
because that's a very sore topic with when it comes to Porsche people of the 997 and 996 having those IMS issues. Yeah, so this not having it makes it way more reliable, and I'm guessing also more desirable too. So
because of the
and it's
reliability,
also a turbo.
but also because of Metzger, right?
Yeah.
You get boost starting, like we felt it
pretty
at
early,
about 1500 RPM. Yeah. You feel the boost, right?
And so yeah, you guys will see when we head to the driving section. This car is amazing. Wow.
Not bad.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
And the turbos, they kick in actually pretty early.
Yeah.
The steering also feels very tight too. So you were saying a modification that this has.
Yeah, so not the last guy, but the guy before him actually did this conversion. He went to
center
the center lock.
So cool.
So he did the center lock conversion and added the GT2 wheels. And the nice thing about it, I mean, it totally updates the car.
Yeah.
Like the turbos never came with center locks, which is kind of neat.
Then another thing that's really cool, if you look in there, is the interior. It is amazing. What is that color?
Cocoa.
That is such a cool
and
color.
I'm pretty sure, in the Cocoa was introduced in the 997s.
So cool.
Adaptive sport seats, aluminum shifter, thicker steering wheel, sport chrono.
This is one of my favorite Porsche interiors, honestly. I don't know why more people don't get them. Like, I haven't seen it on a lot of modern 911s.
No, it was kind of phased out. I really like it. I think it matches like the GT Silver exterior, which is an option. Yeah. Optional color for this year. With the Cocoa, it's a good match.
So cool.
I think it is anyways. It's a classy match. But
6-speed manual.
6-speed manual.
Delicious. Yeah. Glorious. Awesome. And with that said, we are just going to drive this thing because I think that's next. So pumped. So that's it. Let's do it.
Oh, for the price that this car is probably going to sell for, you can get into a 992 like C2.
That is insane. So so that's the comparison now that I'm so you've driven
for money.
I've driven a 992. You've driven the 992 as well. And for the price that you could get the 992 for C2, would you still go for this?
But
or would you go for
completely different cars though? Again, you're buying them for different reasons, right?
Like it just keeps pulling.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't want to stop pulling.
So you're buying this because you're in love with this era of car. You're in love with the 997, right? The 997. A lot of guys, like when the 991 came out, which is basically the same size as the 992, the modern car, right?
Yeah.
A lot of guys left the 997 and went to the 991. They sold their 997, bought the 991. And then it was interesting because over the years, a lot of guys went back to the 997. And then, the conversations you have with people as to why they, like, I'm always interested in why people, I've got my own biases and what I, my preferences
what you like
and all that,
and
what
all
I like,
that,
what I don't like. But it's always interesting to find out why people are making a move towards
the older stuff.
Maybe the older one, like going away from the newer one back to the older one. And a lot of the comments I hear, it's like, well, it's a smaller car, it's more of a compact car. It feels a lot sportier than the 991 did. Yeah. So the 997 and even the 991, 992 generation cars, they do feel very different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can't, that's another, so the guy that's buying this is not buying the 370Z. I don't want to make a mistake.
No, 400Z. 400 or the new Z, the 2023Z. No, they're very different markets.
Very different.
Very different.
But the same thing can be said for a guy buying a 997 is not necessarily buying a 992.
That is true, yeah. Because a person that wants this has probably, at least in 2023, has probably tried all the other cars, has probably gone down the line for the price, again, that you're paying for it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they've already gone down that line, and like they've arrived at like, this is the car, hence why I would say it is worth it to the enthusiast or the person that is...
Or the collector.
Yes, the collector,
or a guy that, you know what, some guys get to the point in their life where they remember this car.
Yes.
And now they can afford it, and maybe they've made a lot of money, who knows, because the prices are getting kind of silly. But they've gotten to that point and they're like, I don't care, I remember that car, I want it.
Yeah. But this thing feels so good. Like, even though it's a 15-year-old car, it does not feel like a 15-year-old car.
It is. I mean,
it feels brand new.
If you updated some of the electronics and everything in the car, you could say this is a new car, right? Like you could reproduce this.
But why would you
today.
want to update? Like, that's true, I guess. Like, if you want Apple CarPlay, which is actually pretty cool about Porsche, they sell Apple CarPlay or like Android. Like, that blows my mind that they sell that in their retro line, so you can buy it as an OEM part. Yeah. And I feel like that would make this car one of the best driver's cars. I totally agree.
And we phoned, they're backdated. So many guys.
Oh, everyone wants them.
Backdated,
back ordered. Back
ordered. So many guys have been ordering them that they're on back order right now. But that would be a perfect upgrade to the car, right?
Because the new ones, I mean, it does have a little bit better technology, but
for sure, yeah.
But still, like, I feel like there's something so analog about driving this car, even though it's from the early 2000s, so you wouldn't say it's not fully analog. Like, it has traction control, but and with this car, you can have fun and not necessarily go to jail. I mean, if you're up in the RPMs, it still gives you the thrill, even at slower speeds. First, second, rolling through first, second, third, fourth. We were just talking about this.
Yeah, but even with the horsepower that this car has, you're actually working to get the car going,
you're like,
right?
Yeah, you're spooling the turbos. You're like actually going in higher in the RPMs to get that shove that it gives you. Yeah. And I feel like that for me is so rewarding.
Yeah, there's so many cars today. Like even we were talking about the we just delivered a brand new GTS 4, 911 GTS 4. Yep. And I just said that car, the horsepower, it's silly. It's silly how fast that car is. It's ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can get into trouble pretty quickly. And this one, you got to work for it, but you can get into trouble. You're working to get
obviously, there. But for the price, that was my question. Like,
sure,
is it worth that 160,000? Gosh,
it's quick.
This is cool. I like this thing a lot.
Yeah.
So is it worth that price? I would say
if you have the money.
Sadly, if you have not sadly, yes, because I don't have the money. That's what I'm saying. Sadly, but if I had the money, yes.
If money is no object, and you have an opportunity to put this in your garage amongst some other cars, it's definitely going in, right?
Yeah. But to the normal person, if you ask them, they're like, "Wait, what? You spend almost $200,000 Canadian on this versus buying like a newer car?" They would pick the newer car instantly. But again,
well, there's guys that appreciate older classic cars. Yeah, and it's funny that an 07 now is becoming a classic car.
That blows my mind.
It's crazy.
It's 15 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
It feels great to drive.
It is cool, eh?
Yeah, I like it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video on this Porsche 997 Turbo, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.